I feel like the mothers are not teaching their daughters how to be feminine.
I would agree with that.
And if you want, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've dated all races. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Black women. I love Black people, but the Black women are the ones that have that the most with the masculinity. But that's also because Hispanic women are raised from children to cook, to clean, to take care of their brothers, to da 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 da. Like that's what it is in Hispanic houses, Asian houses, even some Caucasian houses. Like I lived in Green Bay with some white people for a while. It's different. Black women are independent. You don't need no this you to catch. You're so pretty. You're so fine. You can get whatever man you want. They're not telling you that if you want a rich man, if you want a high level man, you're gonna have to compromise something because in reality, both of y'all are catches, but you want who's the one that does the protecting and paying the bills, this and the man.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of It's Giving. I am your host, Sarah Fontenot, and if you have not yet, hit that button below so that you can get subscribed to the family. Hit that little bell so you get a notification with each new piece of content because, baby, every week we are dropping the jewels, okay? We got the shorts dropping the jewels. We got the episodes dropping the jewels, and today, guys, we are joined by an incredible serial entrepreneur of a man that has such a powerful story. When I tell you he has been through it in relationships, in life, in business, and has still managed to come out above with a positive disposition and a want to help other people win. Can we please give it up for Trells?
What's good, everybody? What's good? Thank you for having me, Sarah.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Finally, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's good. I'm happy to have you.
That's crazy. You say my story like that.
I mean, it's a lot. I hope we get into some stuff
It's
today.
a lot, but it's not too much.
It's never too much.
Never.
It's always, and more than enough. It's just enough, it's enough. Yeah. So I have to ask you, if this season of your life were called It's Giving blank, and you have to fill in the blank, what would it be called? And you have to say, it's giving.
This season of my life is giving. Man, there's so many things it's giving, to be honest. It's giving value.
Okay.
Certainty.
Okay.
Non-negotiables.
Come on.
It's giving fruitful. It's giving spiritual. It's giving a lot. It's giving intentionality.
Okay. So break that down. What does that mean? This season is obviously a season of evolution, it sounds like, with all of those words.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Okay. So break it down. Why?
So now that I'm at that 30 area.
Welcome. Welcome to the other side.
Right? I realized in my life, I was chasing a lot of things.
You keep going. Yes.
I was chasing validation.
Mm-hmm.
I was chasing dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I was chasing romance. I was chasing so many things that were fleeting. Mm. And now I don't know what happened. I know what happened. I'm not even gonna make it seem like it was luck. I did the work. I stopped running away from the pain. I stopped justifying things and blaming. And I started just taking accountability. Even in areas where I had none, I would find accountability.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like, even if it was something where somebody would be like, bro, no, you ain't got to deal with that, or da-da-da-da. No, I'm going to find some accountability in this because I want to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think all that paid off. And now the way I feel, and it's not even an arrogant feeling, like I'm in a place in my life where if it doesn't fit, I'm not forcing it. Mm-hmm. And this is the best feeling I've ever had.
How did you get to that point? Because there are so many people that are still seeking the outward validation, that are still being who they think they're supposed to be instead of who they really are. They got all of the different things going on. How did you manage to do that? Like what was it inside of your journey? Come on in. What was it inside of your journey that you said, you know what, things got to change? Here you go. What was it for you?
Okay, I'm gonna get a little deep. So it was in 2022 when I checked myself into a mental home. I wish I could have brought the paper. Like, I show all my students this because they look, oh, he got the Corvette and he got the house and the lifestyle and this, that, and the third. And no, like when I checked myself into that mental home, that's what changed my life. because I realized I went in there with like $15,000, $20,000 in my pocket.
Wait, pause. We got to rewind. You can't just say I checked myself into a mental home and keep talking like, oh yeah, this is normal. What do you mean? I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, I went through it. So I've been through a lot. Should I just start there, like, so it can make sense on why, when I check myself into the mental home?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've never talked about this stuff on the podcast either, so y'all getting the scoop.
Come on, exclusive.
I'm to that point. I don't care what no one thinks about me anymore, so I can talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So when I found out I was adopted when I was like 16 years old, and at that time I was being molested by people I would call my brothers. I was being bullied. We didn't have a lot of money. Obviously, you know what that comes with the territory. You already know what happens with that. I didn't really have a lot of friends. I had a really weird childhood. Like I didn't really fit in with my family. It was really weird. But
did everyone else know that they were was anyone else adopted?
Yeah, me and my twin sister and my baby sister
were adopted.
We didn't know we were adopted. But the way it happened is why it was crazy. So even though all of these bad things were going on in my life, when I found out I was adopted, that was the kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, because I already felt like the world didn't want me. So when I found out my mama didn't want me, and my dad didn't want me, that's when suicide came in. And I was 16 at this time, or 15. But the crazy part is there was still a beautiful part, which is I found out that God is real. So my brother, cousin Chucky, shout out Chucky, he was like my big brother. He was dating this girl named Quanda. And one day we were just at the table in high school, and she just said, "You're my brother, and that's my sister." I was like, "What? You're dating my brother? What are you talking about?" And Milwaukee's not a small place. So I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I was so creeped out. I thought it was a game, like y'all playing, whatever. But then I went home. Coincidentally, me and my mom were watching the Birth Channel. I'll never forget this day, ever. We were watching the Birth Channel. And I was like, "Mom, did it hurt when you had us?" Bro, she started screaming and, "Oh my God, I gotta tell you something. I gotta tell you something." I was like, "What?" Bro, that day changed my life.
Yeah.
Not feeling like the world cares about you. And I was already going through suicidal situations. I was on Ritalin and all these medicines that the doctors had me on, all kind of stuff when I was a kid. My mom didn't know no better. You know, the doctors say, "Put your kids on this," what they do. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is, after that, I was quiet for months. Like, I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't going outside. I was in shock. And then it made me think like, dang, this is why family was doing this to me. This is why I felt weird, out of place. And I'm super tall. Everybody's super short. I'm super dark. Everybody's super light. It was just things where now everything started to make sense. But then it got to the point where I was still getting bullied and stuff was happening to me. I remember this guy named Eric who was on the bus with us. He always had a gun on him.
Your age?
My age.
He was like
15, he was a senior. I was a freshman or sophomore.
He was like 17?
Yeah, something like that. I was like, "Eric, bro, somebody on the block messing with me, bro. I need that piece, or I need to get one." He said, "I got you tomorrow." I was going to go to the school and shoot every single person that laughed at me, picked on me, any of that. But glory to God, a snowstorm happened.
Wow.
Bro, that snowstorm happened. On my head, I'm like, okay, we're going to go back. I'm still going to handle this. You know what I'm saying? I'm hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember right before I went, it was something called these benchmarks we had to take. My mom was like, "You got to go take your benchmarks with the principal." I was like, "What?" She was like, "Because we're moving to Green Bay, Wisconsin." I was like, so my mama moved me away. Like, we went to a whole nother city. Bro, the God protected me too many. I would have been one of them kids. And it's so sad. That's why I'm so big on mental health and bullying, and because that stuff is real.
Did your mom know about molestation? Nope. Does she know now?
Now, but that's another thing that messed me up. So when I was 24.
And define molestation. Does that mean like full blown?
Oh, it was bad.
Like bad, like.
It was bad.
Like all the way bad?
It was bad.
Okay.
Like, I still got to go through therapy sometimes. Like, it's bad. You know, but it was crazy because when I told my dad when I was 24, I remember I went to Milwaukee and I was just telling him, I was like, "Dad, you know, I'm going to tell you something." He was like, what? And I told him what happened. And my dad's a tough guy. You know, he was a cop, you know what I'm saying? Tough guy. And he was like, man, how the hell that happened to you? Like, that would never happen to me. Why didn't you say nothing, bro? Like, my dad was mad, but he don't know, like, him not being empathetic in that moment.
It was terrible.
Oh, that was traumatic. You know how hard it was for me to admit that?
Yeah.
But I can understand. See, I'm always trying to find accountability or some kind of empathy for others, right? But like, I can understand as a father how embarrassing that could be for you to hear that when you think that you did everything in your power to protect your child and you failed.
Were you young when that happened?
I was 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Jeez, that's a long time.
It was a long time. Yeah, so it's like everybody it's called mental health for a reason.
Yeah.
That means if it's injured, you have to go through therapy to fix it, like a broken ankle. Like I just tore my tendons in my ankle. Like I can't just go back on a basketball. No, I got to go through the therapy. That's an injury. This is an injury. My emotions have been injured. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to do the therapy on that. Don't avoid it because it just makes it worse.
Right. So how do you feel like, inside of the experience that you had where you almost didn't feel like you belong? When we don't feel like we belong, oftentimes we don't feel like we're enough. When we don't feel like we're enough, now we either treat ourselves like we're not enough or we treat others like we're not enough. Has that been an effect inside of your relationships at that point?
Oh my God. This is the hard part because I was one of those people that would say, I got a big heart. There's no such thing. You just don't have self-control of your emotions. There's no such thing as a big heart. We say these things as coping mechanisms or justifying our actions, but no, there's no such thing as a big heart. You just don't know how to set boundaries and you don't have self-control. So once I realized that I was doing all this people pleasing, especially in relationships, bro, like you should never beg somebody to respect you, beg somebody to believe in you, beg somebody to be nice to you, beg somebody to, if you have to beg, no, that's not what you beg for. And the hard part for me was with that is because the closer I got to God, this is where the depression came in too, because sometimes when you really are on that journey to loving God and you're doing your research and you're learning that, wait a minute, God tells me to do things every day. I don't do them. God don't cut me off.
Right.
So this human that I say I love, they don't do what I tell them to do or what I ask of them. So why would I cut them off? That's where you have to come to, like, it's like, bro, it's so hard loving God, loving yourself, and loving others at the same time.
Of course.
But then
we're human.
Then you tell yourself, I'm not God. That's an excuse.
Yeah.
Because then sometimes you want to say we are God. Like, no, like this is why from now on with relationships, it's a whole nother thing with me now. Like I don't operate with that hopeless romantic stuff anymore. That's dead. I don't believe in that. Hopeless romantic,
Okay.
Life ain't a fairy tale.
I mean, it's not, but it can be close.
I don't want it to be a fairy tale. I'd just rather it be a good movie.
Okay, I received that. I mean, fairy tales are good movies, but they're some of my favorites. But okay, so all of that stuff happened when you were younger. You guys, you moved, you were bullied like crazy. You tell your dad traumatic experience. At what point did you say, I need to check myself in to a mental hospital?
So I made my first six figures, I think when I was 27 or 28. Because I was homeless. Okay, I moved to Atlanta in 2018. I was homeless for 2 years. These last 3 years have been crazy. So it was 2022 when I checked myself into, okay, so 2022 is one of my best years. I was financially for sure. Me and my girl broke up. A real bad breakup. And I remember I was counting a whole bunch of money. My brother Vernon was there with me at my house. And they needed my help and I was helping them. And I just started crying. I broke down. And while I was crying, I asked myself a very honest question. I said, if there was a button that you can push right now where death would be painless and you just would not exist anymore, would you push it? I said, yep. Bro, I called that mental health home so quick. They did a little evaluation over the phone with me. They said, come in right now. And that was the beautiful thing because I called and checked myself in. That's what the lady told me because when I came in there, they was like, this is too much money. We don't want to put it in a locker. They make you sign off on all your things. I left my car outside, but I was embarrassed. And she was like, baby, please don't be embarrassed. There are millionaires that come in here. You'll be surprised. I'm so proud of you that you came and did this. But when I told her my story, she started to get emotional. And the people there are not supposed to get emotional. But when I told her everything I've been through, she was like, I'm surprised that you even made it this far, because most people, only one of those things you've been through will make them suicidal.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. So, but that was the weirdest. I felt like I was in jail, but then I started not to.
How long were you there?
Like a week.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That week was the longest week ever. And I've been to jail before. The week there felt longer than jail.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of the pride. When you go to jail, you can kind of put on a tough man, like, yeah, I beat that up. For my mama, I stood on business, right? Or I did this, I made a mistake. I'm gonna get out. Or I can't wait to get out. But when you're in a mental home, I was to the point I was actually scared to leave. So even those days where it was counting down for me to leave, I never had that much support. So I was like, I don't got this when I leave. So I was trying to actually figure out reasons. I was like, nope, you got to go. So that was tough. That was a tough transition.
Did it help?
It definitely helped.
Why?
Because of I took those exercises with me. Even learning that, thank God, the guy that was there, I forgot his name. His name's on my paperwork. He was a really good person. I was talking to him about how I operate as a man. And he was just giving me conversations that my father could never give me. And it was like, he was like, bro, you're actually doing a good job. Being a millionaire is cool, but keep working on your character.
Yeah.
Keep serving. It was just amazing. He didn't give me validation. He gave me clarity.
That's
you
good.
know, and it was really good. It really did help. It really did. And I didn't take the medicine. I did take the medicine for about a week when I got out, but I just couldn't. Medicine scares me.
I do not take medicine at all.
Yeah, they
unless I'm in a space where like my brain is outside of my skull and it's throbbing and tea didn't work and water's not working and turmeric's not working, then it's like, okay, I might take a Tylenol. Might. And even still, I'll probably just go to sleep unless I have to be awake. Like, cause you know, sometimes light will hurt your head even more. If I can't go to sleep, okay, I will take a Tylenol.
Yeah, that medicine was, I don't like any medicine for real. I just started taking sea moss and all this stuff. Like, yeah, all of that, the sour, I'm on all of that right now, but that stuff make me feel weird because I'm not used to it. It's like, it's disgusting too. It tastes like medicine. So it's like,
what?
You got to think, you know what?
Sea moss does not taste like medicine.
Yes,
well, you
get
flavored sea moss with honey. Mine is flavored with honey.
I didn't get that one.
Oh, you just got the nasty, like real. I get the gel.
But you know, even on medicine capsules, you know that's why they start putting that stuff around the medicine so people wouldn't taste it. Did you know that?
No.
So
did you know that you can open the capsules and put it into a
yes,
drink?
That's only so we don't have to taste it when we're doing it.
Literally,
I didn't realize that.
Idea.
Yep. That's why it dissolves. Yep. I just learned that. But yeah, that whole experience was crazy, man. 2 years went by that quick.
So you checked yourself into a mental hospital in 2022. This is one of the most financially successful years of your life. Did your friends know that you went?
The ones that needed to know knew I went.
Do many people know that you went?
Now, because when I speak to if I got a class full of 200-300 people, or if I'm speaking on stage or something, I'll let them know. But that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
So how did you because with men, there's a lot of ego, right? How did you overcome your ego to say, I don't care what anyone, like for the person that's listening and they're like, I am in such a dark place right now and I need help and I don't know where to start, but I am having thoughts of suicide, or I am having thoughts of self-harm, or I am having thoughts of unworthiness. What would you say to that person? How did you overcome the thought of like, who cares what anyone else has to say about me?
This is a hard one because I feel like everybody's is levels to it. So I've avoided those thoughts for a while until that day. When I had all that, it's not like I had millions of dollars in front of me, but I realized that I went from struggling to buy bread to not worrying about anything financially, right? If you got $50,000 to $100,000 in the bank, if you're mature and responsible, most mistakes aren't going to wipe you out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was at that level where I was like, I got enough money to where I'm not worried about the basic things that I used to be worried about.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with me? Like, why am I so emotionally broke on this woman?
Mm.
Why am I looking for validation from these entrepreneurs?
Mm.
Why am I looking for validation from this, that, and that? Blah, blah, blah. I just couldn't take it no more. And I didn't. I was just like, I'm going to fix myself because I don't like the way this feels.
Mm.
And I'm going to do what I need to do to fix it. The only thing I could think of was mental health.
There are so many men that want validation. I actually think about a person that I dated in the past who needed validation so much. And it is one of the most unattractive things I've ever experienced in my life because it pulls a man out of his masculinity, to be honest. You know, and anyone that knows me knows I love a masculine man. And so I guess my question is it the people that you want validation from that make you feel like you're not enough, so you have to do these things? Is it that you feel like you're not enough, so you have to do these things? Like, where does the seeking for validation come from a man's perspective?
Okay. I can't even do a man's perspective. I could just go from my perspective because my validation came from my people pleasing and validation and all that stuff, abandonment issues. All of that stuff came from my parents. Never came to a talent show. Never came to a basketball game. Never came to I used to rap, sing, dance in front of, like, open up a Wu-Tang Clan. It wasn't there. I didn't have a solid support system when I was younger. I didn't have friends like that. Girls didn't like me back then. It's so many things that, like, people don't realize. I was a child for 20 years. I've only been an adult for 10. I got work to do.
Yeah.
So even when you see these grown men that are 40, 30, 50, 60 years old acting the same way they did, is because they haven't had that realization yet. That's really all it is.
They got older, but they didn't grow up.
Exactly. And I thank God. That's God's grace that let me have those realizations early. Because some people think because you go through a lot, that means you're going to be great. People used to always say, I hate when people say that, oh, man, I've been down for a minute. I know my time coming. No, you don't. There are literally people that never make it.
Yeah.
There are people that came out, had cancer right away when they were born, then they got molested, then they were poor, and then they die. Nothing, either side is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I don't look at what I go through, my pain, as like, oh, I feel like that's a big problem too. Even your people, just because you got a whole bunch of good people around you don't mean you're going to be the next one.
Yeah.
We have so many cliches. Man, you got to do the work. Understand that you're not okay. Don't be arrogant. Like I always ask people this in my class. I'll say, what's the first thing you have to realize once you make the commitment that you want to be the best? Everyone always says, I got to put the work in. I got to sacrifice. I got to do this. All of that, that's obvious. But the first thing you have to come to terms with when you commit to the decision that you want to be the best is you have to realize that you're not the best. Most men can't do that. So they think they're the best. You already said you want to be the best entrepreneur, which means you are admitting that you're not the best right now. But no, I'm this and I make this, and then their ego gets in the way. And then when they lay down at night, guess what happens? They don't got that fulfillment that they think they got. They don't got that support system. Everybody around you what did Tupac say today? He said, I just watched this video about Tupac. He said, it's crazy how a year ago, if I stood in this same spot, no girls would be passing out. Nobody be walking up to me, giving me free anything. It's not me. It's the fame that you're attracted to. It is not me. It's not Trellsceo that you like. Because when I was Trellsceo, no, it's now I'm going viral. Now I'm going this, That's the people. But some men just don't get it. They have it in their head like they're so special. You're not. You just got a moment of being lit right now. And that's it. Because if you wasn't lit, it wouldn't be like that.
You know, though, I think, and this might sound very conceited or arrogant, and I don't care because it's my truth. I really feel like I've finally gotten to a place in my life where I am lit. With or without anything. I've really gotten to a place because I, like you, used to seek validation. Like, I've been engaged 2.5 times, right? And the second time that I was engaged, it was very much relationship goals. We were Black love. We were Black excellence. We were literally every hashtag on the planet that would have reflected a beautiful relationship. But the truth was, in reality, it was very toxic. but I was so concerned about the perception of what it looked like. I was so concerned about putting on. And I really believe that God had to put me through that relationship and another relationship in order to teach me everything means nothing.
Nothing.
Everything means nothing.
That's what Solomon said.
Yeah, truly. And when you start to understand that everything means nothing, like, yeah, it is nice to have the cars and the place and the jewelry but if all of that were stripped away, if we take away the lashes and the wigs and the all of, I still in my heart of hearts know that the character that I am. It's funny, Anissa and I did an episode and she was saying, you could be rich in spirit. I'm like, yeah, but you got to have some money too. But I do know that I am rich in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that, money doesn't make me who I am. God made me who I am.
Mm.
And this is just my human experience wrapped around an eternal spirit. And that's it. That's the truth. Everything means nothing. They're just nice to have, And so I love what you're saying because really and truly, I feel like that's the level that we all get to, not to do it like me because I'm still evolving. I'm a disaster for sure, but I'm also amazing and everything in between. And I feel like when we can just allow ourselves to be human, when we can just say, you know what, I am jacked up this way, this way, this way, this way. When you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, heifer, you the problem. You know what I mean? And when you can do those things and really mean it, there's freedom.
Wow, that's so powerful because I love what you said about I'm the problem. This is the biggest thing I've learned within the last 2 years is I actually go through meltdowns in my brain when other people are the problem. Because I realized when I'm the problem, I'm the solution.
Yeah.
But when you're the problem, I'm not the solution.
But that's why no one else is the problem.
And that's exactly what it is. And I've realized this. That's why I'm been kind of spoiled with the relationships I have now, like with my boy Justin Phillips, David Shands, Maddie. I'm around people that really are, I'm not with all that stuff that I be seeing. I be seeing a lot like the cockiness and I'm that and you ain't all the, no.
But I do feel like we should all feel like I am him, I am her,
but
without taking away from someone else.
And I know, okay, I'm gonna break it down this way.
Okay, tell me.
Even though when I was younger, I wasn't all the way grown into myself. My aunties used to call me handsome. You're going to be so handsome when you get older. Ooh, you're going to be tall and chocolate. Ooh, don't listen to these girls. You're going to be, but that don't do nothing for you when you're a kid because you want the girls then, right?
Period. Yep. No
but
one like
even
me either.
Now that I'm older, and I do get that, first of all, it doesn't excite me like that because it means nothing, right? But I'm not one of those guys where the jewelry and the car and the money, I was getting, even when I was homeless, I was pulling bad chicks like athletes' wives, NBA player, like it was like that, right? I'm being honest. The wives, yes, it was like that. But what I'm saying is, I know if we all was just stripped naked, and when I say naked, I mean just with ourselves.
Yeah,
these dudes they're gonna be intimidated by me.
Yeah,
and I've seen it in front of me. I've seen men act that way, and I'm like, bro, without that jewelry, without that car, without this clout, you a lame. I don't give that vibe off. I'm Trells no matter what.
Yes.
And that's why I say I'm spoiled, especially Justin Phillips, bro. That dude is him no matter what. And that's what I like to be around because seeing all this other stuff, y'all know y'all don't love yourselves.
I dated a person like that.
That's embarrassing to me.
It was embarrassing that I dated that person.
No, but as a man, Kenny, you a man, bro. If you know, bro, I'm about to get some veneers from the one and only Rail Styles. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop a bag on that. But I was getting compliments on this smile. Look at this. Hey, what's good?
Come on,
it's like it was like that before.
Right.
Some of y'all dudes get the teeth and start going crazy. You get the whip, go crazy. Bro, be yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Understand that I'm just not the type of person. If I can't go to sleep, bro, y'all don't want to talk. Don't do that in front of me because I'll expose you.
Right.
Don't do that because I know you wasn't like that.
You're right.
You're not really confident with yourself.
Right.
I could walk around with my shirt off, the hat. Ain't no hat fishing.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
It's okay if you want to overcompensate, but stay a good person.
That's the problem. That's the part.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't need to overcompensate. You could just feel good in your own skin.
But they don't.
That's what but because they're looking for things instead of being who they are.
And the people around them are trash.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's another thing.
Maddie is my brother and my mentor. Like, but I will tell him about himself.
As you should.
Love Justin. I'll tell you about yourself.
Right. And
I'll
vice
tell
versa.
anybody I'm around about them. But the problem is a lot of these dudes don't, and women, they don't got, everyone needs you.
Mhm.
So they know they can't hold you accountable, because if you do, you might piss them off and you feel like you scarcity mindset. I don't have scarcity mindset, and I don't have a pride problem.
Mhm.
So that if you my boy, listen, if you my brother Landon, shout out to Adobe. When I was selling drugs, I was up to, I'm talking about, I was counting money in front of him.
You just say so many things that are just like,
know,
oh, this is normal.
I
When
know,
I was
right?
selling drugs. Like, wait,
But
what?
yeah, before I came to Atlanta, that's what actually got me to Atlanta, was my drug money and that last construction job. But I stopped selling drugs because he told me straight up. He said, if you're going to keep hustling, bro, you can't come to my house, you can kick it with my kids, and we can't be friends no more. That made me stop selling drugs, because you got to have people around you that you value so much, because they're really an asset to you in so many ways that you will change.
Mhm.
So some people always say you shouldn't change anybody. No, there are some things with people that have to change.
Mhm.
And that's a fact. There are things about me with my temper, the way I carried myself, how sometimes I didn't think before I spoke, how reckless I was. That has to change. And I want someone to try to change that.
Mhm.
But we have all these responses to these things because people don't want to change. If you don't have people around you that make you want to change, you are not doing the right thing.
I agree.
Yeah. Sarah, if you told me, Trell, look, bro, you can't, it's like this. You can't be on this podcast if you do this.
Yeah.
Do I value the podcast enough to change it or not?
Right.
That's it.
Right. That's
People don't.
literally it.
That's
I
it.
was just having this conversation the other day. Shout out to my cousin Helen. And she was saying something about how people feel like they have to be their best around you. And I said, why is that a bad thing? Like, I don't know anyone that hasn't come around and evolved. And I evolved, right? I'm either like Sister Sarah, Mama Sarah, Auntie Sarah, and we're all the same age. It's one of the three things, but we hold each other accountable. I want you to get the goals that you tell me that you want. And accountability can feel like judgment if you're not ready to change.
Oh.
So you'll feel judged by me. You might feel like, well, I didn't do my best today. Okay, well, do your best. And sometimes your best is trash, and that's okay. But also, let's talk about it. What's going on? And those are the people that really love you. The people that don't love you let you get away with everything. The people that don't love you are clearly there to take advantage of whatever it is that you come with, because real love wants you to be your best.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like, there's no way around it.
That's a fact. And that goes into another thing, because the people that love being in that kind of environment where they get compliments all the time. And you're so great. You're so beautiful. You're so this. You're so creative. You're so fire at this. Those are the people we really got to check on. Not the ones that go through a lot. The ones that go through a lot usually
are used to it.
Get through it. Right? Like, the ones that don't go through a lot, guess what happens when they finally realize the world that they believed in doesn't exist?
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's like what my boy was telling me. He said, imagine a girl that's just beautiful, beautiful. And then she realizes that her beauty isn't enough to keep a man. Imagine how her world crumbles. If you've been taught this whole time that being beautiful is all that matters, get a dude to do this, now you're 31, and you realize, wait a minute, there's someone younger, not as pretty, but they're an asset to this man. That's so hard. And I realize a lot of us go through that. We've been told things for years that we believe in is embedded in us, but then we have a shock when we realize that's not the reality.
Yeah.
That's why I feel so bad. I don't really let my son watch too many Disney movies, because I realize Disney, Loving Basketball, all of them movies messed us up.
I mean, we're messed up from our own families when people say, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do? Yeah, do is connected to achievement, whereas who is connected to fulfillment. So a much more powerful question to ask is, who do you want to be? Not what do you want to do, and then you got to think about how literally, like, and even now I had to catch myself when I see beautiful little girls. I'm like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And they're like, oh, thank you. I'm like, you're smart too, right? I got to throw that. You're reading. Have you read a book? Or teach me, whether they're 2, 3, 4, or 5, because sometimes we put so much emphasis on the thing that if they were to ever lose that, they lose their identity.
Ooh, that's exactly
because
right. Yep.
that's all that they know. And it's almost the same as like athletes, right? An athlete that plays basketball or a man with money. If you're only ever known as a man that makes money, but you lame as hell, yeah, you can pull these women that are going to use you for your money. Great. And the second that the money's gone, you lose everything because they don't want you for you.
That's a bad
Same
feeling.
thing with like with an athlete, right? If you've only ever been good at a sport, you've only been good at doing that thing, and people don't check you on your character. They don't say you need to act right. They don't say, "Hey, bro, you tripping right now. You need to be better and do better." It's like, no, as long as you're good at this sport, you could get away with some stuff.
Yep.
But the hard part is when life hits you, you can't have a downfall in what you do when you aren't the person. Because people, if they rock with you for what you do, that changes all the time.
Yep.
But if they don't rock with you for who you are, you lose people every single time.
That sucks. And then people, they turn around, no one likes me. I don't have anybody.
You're not
that.
likable.
No, man, you're not likable. That's a big thing. Especially if you're in business, being likable is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
If your customers don't like you, what are they going to buy from you?
You're arrogant. You're conceited. You have an inflated ego. You know, there's so much. And I personally have like a disdain. I don't want to say hate because that's too strong, but I have a disdain for condescending people.
Give me an example of condescending.
When people speak down to others, like I'll be the person, and I've been this person, and it is not healthy, but this is my toxic trait. I am a puffer fish. You want an ego? I'll show you ego, baby. Don't ever ego on my people or anyone that's around me. So like my mom is 5'1", has dreads, very simple. People would think my mom dresses like Michelle Obama. My mom is chill, like so chill. My mom's a 6-figure earning woman, right? So when we go places, people, or let's say as an example, we have timeshares in my family, and we went on the thing, and I was like, I'm not going on a timeshare tour. I have a timeshare. I don't want a timeshare. My mom's like, well, we all should go together. And all of the kids, we all go. And they talked down to my mom. And I wish that I had gone because they were like, they asked my mom something along the lines of like, well, if you have an Amex. And my mom's like, first of all, I do have an Amex, and I wish my daughter was here because you don't get to talk crazy to my people. Or if they're shopping and you're in an expensive store and someone's like, oh, these are really cute, and they almost play you like you can't afford it.
I hate that.
I'll take these in every color.
Yep.
That's my toxic trait. I don't need to puff up, but I do. Or even like the little guy. You know, when I was in high school, I've just always had a heart for the underdog. Like when I was in high school, we had school dances, and we didn't have prom. I've never been to a prom because we don't have that where I'm from. I know, sad day. We don't have sororities or fraternities. I know. I totally would have been in one. Canada.
They don't have proms in Canada?
No, well, not where I'm from. Not in Saskatchewan, no.
Sad
day in the neighborhood. From movies, it looks like I really missed out on a lot. But we did have school dances. And at school dances, they always played 2 slow songs in a row, and then it'd go back to party. And then like 45 minutes later, they'd play 2 slow songs. And I would always dance with the guy that I was dating first. And then I would dance with the guy that would never get a chance to dance with a woman. I mean, the nerdiest, corniest, weirdest, always. And not even because I'm cool, I'm symmetrical, but they never get to dance with a girl. So I could be the girl that you dance with. At least you get to say you dance with a girl. I may not be the cutest girl in school, but like I was a girl, and I was
sweet.
Well, no, I just feel like people try to flex, and I cannot stand when your character doesn't match the accolade.
That sucks. I hate that too.
And
it's so funny, obviously, because I was one of them nerdy guys, right? So that would have made my day. But I remember I had a situation like that when I was in high school. Wow, this is one of the things that made me go crazy too. I was leaving basketball tryouts. I didn't make the team, but I was at Bradley Tech at this time. And I remember I tried out for the team. I didn't make it, but I took the bus home my mama couldn't come and get me, so I took the bus home. And I remember there was this girl named Sabria. I remember her name. Dang. Sabria.
She was bad, I bet.
She was the prettiest
she even got
girl
a bad
to
name.
me in the school. And she was popular. But now that I know I wasn't ugly, I didn't feel out. You know what I'm saying? But I remember I was so nervous. She was actually leaving the school at the same time, walking to the bus stop. And I was like, dang, Trey, you should talk to her, bro. Don't be a just If she say no, bro. It's okay. It's okay, okay? All right? And I was like, just do it. And I did it. Hit my chest. And I was like, Sabria, can I walk you to your bus stop? She was like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can walk me. And then I was walking, I was like, I think you're really pretty, and we should go skating sometime. She's like, I would love to. In my head, I was like, what the you know what I'm saying? And I kept it player though, kept it play.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, I got her number, texted her a little bit. We was talking through the night. And I remember the next day, what you think I did? Got on that bus while they was clowning me, making fun of me, calling me ugly and calling me a bum and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know why y'all talking. On my mama, I'm taking Sabria out this weekend. Right? Rookie mistake. What you think they did?
They told her.
So what they told her was, Montell said that y'all was gonna have sex and that he trying to smash you and da 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 da. Boom, boom, boom. So I didn't know what happened so I didn't know nothing happened. Like
but did
fourth
you say
period.
Any of that?
Nope. Didn't say none of that. Nope.
Okay.
I didn't even cuss
Just
at
for
that
clarity.
time.
Okay.
I didn't even cuss.
Glad we got clarity.
Right. So it was crazy because I walked up to her happy, like, hey Sabria, tried to give her a hug with her best friend right there. I was confident because I got her number. I know what we talked about the day before. Tried to hug her. She was like, get the away from me. I was like, what did I do? Like, what's wrong? Like, what happened? She was like, talking about you gonna F me. And they said, F you. They're like, bro, my heart was broke, dog. I'm talking about high school was vicious. High school was vicious to me, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'll never forget that day. I was like, oh, can't talk no more about no pillow talk. What they call it, kiss and tell.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson from that.
Yeah.
High school was no joke. Shut up, kitty.
Yeah, people. It's still like that though. I feel like adulthood is just high school all over again.
Bro, listen, I'm a bro. Listen, bro. It's a couple dudes I know trying to talk to my girl when we was dudes that was my boys. I'm talking about my boys. I don't even want to say no names right now. I'm talking about, bro, I was boys. People that I called my mentors. I was at their house and they had heard DM talking about me and bro, Atlanta, bro. That's what I'm saying. These entrepreneurs are weird, bro. It's like the music. It's like these dudes ain't who they think they is, bro.
No, they're not. A lot of people are not who they think they are.
Because you can tell by their character, how you treat people, how you treat your kids, your wife, your employees. Like I be seeing dudes how you sleeping with his girl? That's your partner. Why are you sleeping with his girl? Like I see some weird stuff. Yeah. And for me to see that dude walk up and shake his hand, he slept with your girl. What are you doing?
Does he know?
Yeah, he knew. That's what I'm saying. We live
while they were together?
Bro, no, listen to me. I'm telling you, I went to an event. This dude went up to because this went on months before I even knew. I found out because this became a client. Rumors go around in Atlanta, and it was the truth. This dude walked up to him at his birthday party and gave him a dap and gave him a hug. I said, bro, I gotta go. Me and Justin was like, we gotta leave the party, bro. Because I would have said something, bro. It's weird. I see people do weird stuff, bro, and I'm not built like that.
I'm not either.
And I'm gonna be
I live in a bubble.
Even though I was a nerd, like there's still some street with me because of where I come from. So some things, like I'll be ready to go. Like it got to a certain point when I was like 18, 19, 20, where like I'm putting my hands on, like what? Like it got to that point. I'm grown now. You ain't finna say nothing to me. So when I see certain things, I gotta remove myself because I don't like seeing people get bullied. I don't like seeing people get mistreated. I be wanting this, like you said, I don't play about, I want everybody to treat each other with respect. Yeah. Even though we live in a crazy world, I can't expect that, but if you're gonna do that in front of me, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
So I just remove myself from these relationships.
Wow.
Atlanta's crazy, bro.
Yeah. How was dating? I know you're in a relationship now, but before you were, how was the dating scene for you in Atlanta? I hear a lot of like horror stories.
Dating to me
Look at this. Look at this body motion. Go ahead. Dating is what?
Man, I don't know. Dating for me was toxic. But it was because of a little bit of me, because I knew I should have been healed before. But I messed up I've hurt some girls.
How? Did you ghost anyone? Have you ever ghosted someone?
I've ghosted. But I'm weird. So for example, if a girl goes for tries to have sex too quick, turn off right away. I'm talking about right away. If you start talking about my money, turn off right away. If you're a woman that complains, turn off right away. I'm picky. Like, even if you complaining about traffic, that's not a good sign to me. Like, and it's because I realized that, like, I know how far removed that person is from the work that they need to do. If I see a 30-year-old woman complaining about traffic, it's like, I get it to a certain extent, but if it's all the time, like every time I call you, you're complaining about all these clients. Oh my God, oh man, I can't deal with that. And it's because I'm in traffic. I'm thinking about, dang, I'm blessed. I'm in Atlanta in traffic. I'm in Atlanta where I'm from, this is where they come for vacation, but I live here and I'm stable. When I'm in traffic, I find something to do. Like, okay, let me call a client. Let me put Alex Hormozy on. I don't know. I just try to find things to do so I don't complain. Like, one of the things we learned in church, they say idle time
is a devil's playground.
Creates idle time. You get it? And it's like, I'm really learning how to be, when I was dating, my perspective was, I need a woman that is content with every little thing. And I was not running into that. A couple, yes, but I did them bogus, because as soon as I started to see that they liked me, I was like, oh, hell no. I'm being honest with you.
Wait, you finally got what you wanted and then said no?
Yep. Toxic. Because I wasn't healed. And I would have compared them to that and talking about my ex and this, that, and the third. And, oh, I wish I got this from my ex. Like, I was that. It wasn't healthy. Like, it's not fair to them. And then some of them, I'm really big on not having sex before marriage. So they be wanting sex. No, they be begging me. I'm like, no, that makes me uncomfortable, because now you're making me go between my faith.
I didn't know you were waiting until marriage.
When I was single. Yeah.
Wait, but now you're not waiting until marriage.
Because I'm in a relationship.
But you still single because you ain't married.
Yes, I am.
You're
the same, yeah.
No, you're not married.
Yes, I am.
I know, because you lay down, that means that's your wife.
No. I'm married.
You got married?
I've been married. We went through a separation. I told you that.
Wait.
We went through a year separation. That was a year.
Out. Yeah. Hold up. Rewind. You are legally married?
I am legally married, yes.
This is your ex?
I'm legally married.
The ex that I know?
I'm legally married.
To her? This whole time? So y'all were just...
It was toxic.
What?
Shut up, Sarah.
What in the world?
Toxic.
You were married?
Okay, so at first, no.
Okay.
But then we got back. We was like, we're going to do it the right way, this, that, and the third. But we didn't know either. We also didn't know.
You didn't know what?
We didn't, because we thought that when we signed the paper in 2022, that it was good. But I guess there was another step we didn't do. So when she went to go file for it, they were like, oh, you're not in the system.
So you weren't married?
No.
But now you're married. Mm-hmm. When did you get married?
Like 8 months ago. Oh, but it's not like get married again. It's just like we just signed the paper. That's it. Just signed the paper. That's it. We just made sure they got the paper. Oh my gosh, Sarah.
The level of like shock that I have. I'm so happy for you.
Time goes by fast.
Time flies when you're having fun. That is wild.
Yeah. But my marriage, to me, it's like this. It's like a huge spiritual thing for me. Like,
well, of course, it's a spiritual thing.
Like that sexual immorality stuff. Like when you really get deep into Christianity.
So did you really just marry her because you wanted to have sex?
No. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Heck no. There's other things. You know what I'm saying? Building. It's like, obviously I told you earlier how I have a hard time just giving up on commitments that I've made. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I have boundaries, but being here this time ain't no joke.
Okay.
Like Sarah, when I tell you, it ain't no joke. Like, I'm not playing no games. It's either gonna work or it's not. It's like, but I have faith and I have hope and I have, reason to believe that it could work.
Well, I think that we've talked about this on previous episodes, and I think that as long as a person is willing to have a growth mindset and is
Mhm.
willing to fight the issues and not the person, then anything and all things are possible. And when one is willing to take accountability, admit fault, and move forward and forgive. So I think that wow, because I just found out y'all were back together.
Mhm.
Remember when we had our because you came to shoot with me
Yeah.
and we got to catch up a little bit, and it had been a minute, and I did not know, and now I just
Yeah.
learned something else that's new.
It's like, I don't know. I'm low key with a lot of stuff now too,
I'm low key also.
because it's like I'm tired of getting like the crap end of the stick.
What do you
It's
mean when you say that?
like I just don't. I'm like things that I'm in control of. I'm a boast about.
Yeah.
If I'm like, listen, I got traumas to commas. My son. I'm upfront about that stuff.
hmm
I have to kind of heal to boast about a relationship.
Okay. So what do you think? Do you think that there is I'm asking this question to everyone now at this
Mhm.
point because this is my belief. I believe that we live in a world where men are much more feminine and women are much more masculine. Do you
Facts.
agree and why?
Yes, I agree. Oh my God, I agree. It's so true. But I also I think I agree with that. And I think the reason is you said why
hmm
is because of the parenting
Mm,
and lack of resources and experience. So with me, my father was a very masculine man.
mm.
Even my real father. I met my mom and dad when I was 18. Like I know them. My dad is very masculine. I feel like the mothers are not teaching their daughters how to be feminine.
I would agree with that.
And if you want, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've dated all races. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love black women. I love black people, but the black women are the ones that have that the most with the masculinity. But that's also because Hispanic women are raised from children to cook,
cater.
to clean,
To
to take
cater.
care of their brothers, to da 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 da. Like that's what it is in Hispanic houses, Asian houses, even some Caucasian houses. Like I lived in Green Bay with some white people for a while. It's different. Black
Well,
women are independent. You don't need no this you to catch. You're so pretty. You're so fine. You can get whatever man you want. They're not telling you that if you want a rich man, if you want a high level man, you're gonna have to compromise something because in reality, both of y'all are catches, but you want who's the one that does the protecting and paying the bills, this and the man. So
mhm,
you got to step your game up because there's women that don't look as cute as you that would do more than you.
mhm,
And how you gonna stand up to her? It's
mhm.
like what Shaq said today on the thing I was watching. He said, "When talent meets talent, it doesn't matter anymore. It's about work ethic now.
Mhm.
So when beauty meets beauty, it doesn't matter anymore." So I feel like that's one thing with the women, and the men are just they don't have emotional intelligence, and they have entitlement to things that they haven't earned yet. You want the management title, but you never even were a good employee,
Mhm.
right? I feel like men look at social media and think just because they hear Kevin Samuel say something, they run with it.
Mhm.
I feel like there's a lack of structure with all of this. And that's why it's all over the place. But
Yeah.
I feel like it is the worst in the black community. We are
I agree.
against each other so bad,
I
and it's
agree.
scary.
And I hate it. And I think that for women, for me, it's almost like I was just watching this show and I was like, oh my God, that's so true and so beautifully articulated. Is that they were saying that is in the white community, it's like vulnerability and softness is encouraged.
Mhm.
It's like we want you to be soft and tell us how you feel. And it's okay
Mhm.
to cry. And we're so fragile. But in the black community, it's like being strong and independent is encouraged. And you have to think about whatever is most focused on, wherever energy goes, that's what flows.
That's what flows.
Right. And so if we're over here focused on how to be a super strong, independent, I could do bad all by myself woman, that's what the media is pushing.
Yep.
Over sexualization, under education,
Mm.
and go after what's easy, money, get money, whoever, right? Like it's in our music, it's in the media, it's in social on all platforms. And so for us, I hate it because what is stronger, which is why I understand that they did this in the 70s and destroying the black family,
Oh
because
yeah, I saw
what is
that.
stronger than that?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was so bad. How they made the woman choose between the man and the benefits and all that
Yeah.
stuff. They chose the benefits, but it makes sense. I'm gonna struggle. They put you in jail. I don't got, and now I'm on my bro. It's just sad how we do this. But now that there's no, like I say, I always find accountability. It's like who said this?
Your
One of the
wife is
people.
black, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
One thing that was said was, if you cast blame, you cast power. So if I say,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be honest, you know a little bit of my story now. I have every right to be a mean, disrespectful savage.
Mm-hmm.
Get my money, F everybody, boom, boom, boom. No, like, but I don't do that because I could easily say my mama didn't love me. My mama gave me up. I was molested. I was this, that, and the third. The world don't love me, so F everybody. But that's me casting blame on everybody on why I'm acting this way.
Mm-hmm.
If I say this is why I'm doing it, I'm giving that, whatever that is, power. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And my son is 10 years old. I want, like, the way I love my son, like, he still gives me kisses, like, mwah, like all that stuff over FaceTime. And I call him Boo Boo Bear. I got him tatted on me. Like, I call him baby and he's 10 and he's not uncomfortable. Like, I'm going to love my son the way that I'm supposed to love him.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to compare black and white and other cultures, but I'm not loving my son how most black men are loved. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. People even think this, people thought it was weird how I was loving my wife. Checking on her all the time, bringing her food to her job. Why you check on her so much? Why are you doing, what? Mm-hmm. Why you call your son Boo Boo Bear? Like, that's weird. Like, why you kiss your son? Bro, we are so uncomfortable with seeing people be loved the right way.
So true.
And that's scary to me.
And that's the issue.
That is the issue.
Yeah.
Y'all want to watch Love and Basketball, y'all should have been watching Daddy's Little Girls.
Right.
Because, man, that actually is the reason why I love my son, how he loved his daughters. Mm-hmm. That movie was amazing.
Yeah.
I watched Antoine Fisher. And I'm going to be honest with you, because of my life, and I related to Antoine Fisher so much, I was like, man, when I saw how Denzel helped him become better, I was like, man, I can't go to the other side. I would be out here bad. All my brothers are locked up. I'm glad I was adopted. I can look at me being adopted as oh, mom, I hate you. I'm actually about to interview her. I'm about to interview my mom that gave me up. My dad just died, rest his soul. But then I'm going to interview my mom and dad that adopted me. I'm putting them on the Traumas to Commas podcast. Mm-hmm. But I realized that if I wouldn't have gotten adopted, I would have been like my dad. I would have been out here pimping. Right? So it's like, I can look at that as a good thing or a bad. I'm going to look at it as a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play victim out here because my bills don't care about what happened to me. My son don't care. Not in a bad way, but like, that's not their business to care.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? If you choose to be with a woman, it's not her job to get you to good health no, you said you're going to provide for her. So provide through everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just don't make excuses.
I'm with you on that. I am 10,000% with you, but it is challenging because we live in a society of people that want to cling to their excuses. Oh, and that is the challenge. Disgusting. And, sometimes it's hard for me too. Like sometimes I want to be like, well, this is the reason. Who cares why? Just get it done. Fix it, self-correct. And none of us are perfect. And I never want anyone that's listening to this, because I do talk about how people are never healed. They're not healed, or they don't know themselves. That doesn't mean that I know myself 10,000%, because the truth is I'll never know myself 10,000%. We're always evolving. We're always growing, and we're always changing. But it is important to acknowledge the fact that we can do intentional work on becoming the people that we want to do. It's as simple as making the choice to do so. A lot of us just don't make the choice. And I do think that we as women, I can speak on behalf of women because I see it, I've experienced it, even being like, when women are masculine with me, like, whoa, like you didn't have to do any, like all of that. When the truth is our power is inside of our femininity. Like all of our power is inside of our femininity. I could sweetly suggest, or sweetly the art of the power, what is it called? The Power of Suggestion, that book.
I never read that one.
There's so much power in being a woman. I wish that women would just cling to that, because we actually would get more than what we thought we deserved.
Sarah, I'm telling you right now, I just was at church talking about this with my brothers. They laughed at me so hard. I said, God knew not to make me a woman. It would have been too easy. Because I understand this. I used to say this so many times in the beginning of the relationship. All you got to do is be nice and say baby in front of something, it's going to get done. So why choose the other option?
I mean, it's more than that, but
you get what I mean. Like, why do the other option, the toxic, the angry, the projecting,
because people aren't emotionally regulated. That's why. Because feelings, being a woman, one of the things that we also have to understand is that our feelings are stronger, right? We don't move off of logic most times. We move off of emotion. And so when those emotions start to bubble, it's like they just come out instead of being like, okay, let me see, how do I really feel? And one of the things things that I do with anyone that ever asks me, I get people that ask me about relationship advice or what do I think about this or how should I do that? First question I ask is, what do you want to happen? Like, what do you want the end result to be? Now, if your end result is, I don't want to fight anymore. I really want to get over this. I want to let this go. I just really want an apology. Then share how you feel. And not in a way of, Negro, you disrespected me, this, that, and the other. But no, just if I were to say to my man, baby, I really felt disrespected today and I don't want to feel that way. When you talk to me in that tone, it's really hard to digest. End of story.
I'm like, baby, I'm sorry. Let's go out to eat right now. We want a foot rub for 2 hours?
Period.
What you want?
But if I come at you and I'm like, Negro, you so disrespectful. You need to learn how to talk to me. It's not effective. But a lot of times it's because we have that emotion and we haven't slayed that dragon inside of us that just breathes fire.
Bro.
Right? So.
And I'm telling women, right? If y'all want an above average man, you cannot operate that way.
That's true.
Because a man gets to my level of mindset and it's like, bro, you are going to sink my ship.
Yep, I agree.
It's not your ship. It's my ship. You are joining this journey with me and we're going to go to some of the places you want to go on the way. But this is the destination.
Yeah.
I'm letting y'all know it does not work. And that's coming from personal experience. Because that man eventually realizes like, damn, like, no. Especially when I remember a girl poured my water before. I was like, she poured my water?
I hate that that's how low the bar is.
That's crazy.
That is so sad to me.
It's other things too. Like even, man, I can go down the list, but it's like, this is what I'm telling you. You can't look at that grass is greener mindset is so trash to me because this grass is green. This grass is greener, but they both have shit. What is in all plants? Fertilizer. It's still fertilizer. Fertilizer is just dookie. It's no matter which grass you want, there's still going to be there.
Right.
So stop jumping. I think that's why some women and men act the way they do in relationships is because they really feel like they have so many options.
Yeah.
But are you the best option for somebody else? If you start thinking that way, you'll humble yourself.
Yeah.
Are you the best option for this type of person?
Oh my goodness. I think even for me, I know that my dating pool is so small, but I don't just say that because of who I would choose. I say that because who would also choose me.
That's humility right there.
I literally like there are a lot of people that, may be attracted to my energy or, whatever they might be attracted to, but to have me, it comes with highest levels of accountability, of standard. I expect you to have a high level of leadership and capacity and emotional regulation and all. Most men don't want to deal with me, to be completely honest. The work and the challenge that comes with. Now, will you be a better man? Absolutely. For me, I don't know. I'm not saying better against another man, but you probably will be more successful, monetarily speaking. You probably will be more successful around your family, like family life speaking. You will probably be the type of man that I want to marry and vice versa, because the type of man that I want wants a woman like me.
I like
wants
that.
A woman with a high standard.
See, you sound like you've done the work, and it's obvious because it's not coming from a conceited, arrogant place. It's like we're both refining each other.
Yes.
Right. But I rather deal with the refinement process than the digging. I mean, like digging and doing, no. Give me the diamond. Let me refine it. Right. I'm not trying to dig. I'm not trying to search. I'm not trying to do what the gold miners did. I'm not doing all that. No, this is the diamond. Let's refine it. Because I realized like it's not easy being a father, a husband, a serial entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and still making time to love myself. That's not easy.
No, it's not.
I'm 30. I don't know how much longer I got left.
Right.
And I told one of my students recently, I was like, do this. I said, breathe 4 times. I said, imagine that. You just took 4 breaths. Imagine your last breath. You don't know when. You have no control over that. And it's like, you got to really be intentional with how you're doing this life thing, because we feel so invincible while we're living.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just taking that. I just found out I don't have cancer on Sunday.
Praise God.
Thanks to God. Like that was killing me. For the last 3 months, I've been at the doctor like crazy. Even in these moments, I'm like, wow, like this is no joke. This life is really, there's something called mortality.
Yes.
And I feel like people that don't understand these concepts or think about these kind of things, they treat people poorly.
Yeah.
you don't even want to tell them treat others how you want to be treated because it'll just be narcissistic.
Yeah.
Because you can't reciprocate the way you want to be treated anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just how I feel about friends, any relationship, business partners, anybody. Like I'm not mixing. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit.
I'm with you on that.
I'm not going back to that homeless place. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes dealing with people, your worst moment can be easy. Being homeless was easier than anything I've been through with relationships. That's crazy. Being homeless and hungry was easier to get through than some things with relationships that I've been through.
But that's because relationships tap into a place that we didn't know existed that reminds us of a trauma that we had in our childhood that we forgot about.
That's a fact.
And now we got to deal with it. That's why
or
relationships, or we hide from it or run from it or we become narcissistic or whatever it is. But really and truly, relationships, the experience of relationships is really a beautiful thing because it definitely refines us, Okay, we have to switch gears. This has been such a good conversation. I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay, bet. Let's get it.
The first question, this is why I'm on my phone because I'm here to look at the one that we're doing.
Okay.
So the question is, I'm like looking for a good one. Oh, okay. You're out to dinner with your lady. It could be this lady or beforehand. And you guys are out to a very nice dinner and you have the last bite on your plate and she's already finished. And before you can put the fork into the last bite of your perfectly prepared meal, she takes it and eats it without asking you. It's giving, dang, girl, you didn't want to ask if you could even have that. The entitlement is real. Or it's giving, oh, my baby must have been hungry.
No, it's giving, let me offer it. That's what that's giving.
Okay.
Is this the first date?
Sure.
Oh, hell no.
It's over.
Your fork touched my stuff. It's a problem. You better let me be romantic and offer that to you.
Okay.
That's don't do that. That's not cute. That's not attractive.
Okay, final question. Here at It's Giving, we believe in growth and evolution. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through reading. So what book has changed your life and why? Okay, so this is my philosophy on books. Me and Justin was just talking about how we think we're dyslexic. So what's the one where you can't read? Is that dyslexic? Yeah. Well, when words are like backwards.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Obviously, we're not dumb, right? But if
you can't read, that means illiterate. If you
I think it's illiterate. One of them two. It was whatever.
But
word
it's hard
to
read if you are dyslexic.
I think it was one of those two. But I said so. I know that when it comes to books, I don't like to read books, but I like to be around the people that wrote the books.
Okay.
Or the people that read the books, and I can get the information that same way because I learned that way. Reading is so challenging for me.
What about listening to a book?
Audiobooks, yes, and podcasts.
Okay, so what has changed your life?
I'm gonna be honest right now, Myron Golden.
Oh, I love Myron.
Myron and Alex Hormozy.
Okay.
And who else I've been listening to? I think those are the biggest ones right now. Okay. That stuff changes my whole.
Yeah, Myron is a beast for sure.
And he's like, it's so funny because I didn't know who Myron was when I first started my Traumas to Commas thing, my community. And somebody said, you remind me of this person named Myron Golden. I started checking Myron out. I was like, bro, somebody compared me to this dude?
Yeah, he's amazing.
I was like, oh, hell, I'm about to step my game up. That was a good compliment.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. It was like, I knew you reminded me of somebody.
Yeah.
And this is an older lady. So that was a blessing. I was like, oh, I love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful compliment.
That's actually one of my people that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take your spot.
Okay.
I'm coming for Myron. Because all the people that's doing this, they don't look like me. They are old and bald and they don't look like me. So I'm gonna change the game a little bit.
Come on. I love that for you. Well, I have to say, Trells, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing so vulnerably and transparently and sharing your story and letting people know there's no excuse. You can literally sit here and let life happen to you, or you can take charge and make life happen. And I just love the way that you are showing up. We got to have you back for part 2 because I want to talk about relationships when you're ready to talk about it.
I'm ready.
We're going to bring you back.
Can I drop a bar?
Yes.
Because you said that excuse thing. I just want to let y'all know, like, poverty and prison are essentially the same concept.
Mhm.
So with prison, that's a place, that's a consequence for people that time after time again show that they don't know how to make the proper decision when they have a certain amount of choices.
Mhm.
So when you go to prison, they control when you eat, when you sleep, when you go outside. They basically control your life. That's the
Mhm.
consequence. Poverty is the same thing. Poverty is a consequence for people that when they've been giving choices where they make the wrong decisions time after time again. So poverty controls what you eat, when you eat, where you live, how often you could do whatever, right? So I really want us to understand, like, learning how to make the right decisions is a big deal
Mm.
because you're gonna end up on one or the other side. So no excuses. Learn communication so you can always get what you need and what you want, and
Mm.
that's gonna help you get, turn them traumas to commas, and that's what got me to where I'm at.
I love that. We're gonna put all your information in the box below, guys. And if no one, I'm like sinking down. Think about these little silk suits as you be slinking down in the chair. So, guys, if no one has told you today, you are freaking phenomenal. Bomb.com. Nothing can stop you but you gotta do something about it. Thank you so much for joining this day's episode. If you have not yet, make sure to hit that button below, get subscribed, hit that little bell so you get a notification with each new piece of content. I love you guys alive. Have a beautiful day. Mwah. Bye.